you all for being here. This is the Detroit City Council Skilled Trades Task Force. For those that do not know, I am Detroit City Council President Brenda Jones. And again, I want to thank you all for being here at this great special meeting that we have FCA present with us. We talk about jobs, jobs, jobs in the city of Detroit. And so now we are seeing our day with jobs, jobs, jobs in the city of Detroit. And it is so important that you all are ready for those jobs, 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 as we have been chairing the Skilled Trades Task Force for the past 10 plus years. And our aim is to get people jobs in the city of Detroit. And so for that reason, we're right here on the east side, very close to where FCA will put their new plant. And again, I welcome you. I am going to just do a brief introduction before we get started, and I'm going to let everyone introduce themselves, and if they just give their name and where they're from, and then we will start as soon as they do that. So I'm going to start down to my left.
Hi. Hello, my name is Prudence Rose, and I'm with Must Careers.
Hi, I'm Nicole Schreier-Freeman. I lead Detroit Employment Solutions Corporation.
Mike Lackey, FCA Talent Acquisition.
Mike Lewis, ADP, representing FCA.
And Chris Phillips, representing the Operating Engineers, Local 324.
Okay, and I know we will be getting other trades come in as we continue on through our meeting. One of the things that I asked you all to do is, if you have a question once we complete, I asked you to go to the mic and ask your question. I asked you to ask your question and not give a 3-minute comment before you ask your question. Just ask your question. And I am basically one that shoots straight from the hips. What you see is what you get. And as we move forward through this meeting, and there are going to be several presentations, one of the things that I want everyone to know is, again, we're here to help everybody. Any and everybody that's interested in getting a job in the city of Detroit, we're here to help you do just that. And so if you think there is a problem, you be honest with yourself. One thing that I always tell everyone, and this is the one thing that I say to everybody, this council president don't know anything about your history, don't know anything about you, but the one thing I do know is when you go searching for a job, you have to be drug-free. You have to be drug-free on any job, be it a skilled trades job or not. Do I want to know whether or not you're drug-free? No, I don't. So don't raise your hand, because I don't want to know. But what I want you to know is, if you aren't, we have a way to help you, to assist you in getting drug-free. And that's going to be very important, because you will be drug tested. So it's going to be very important that you be honest with yourself if you need that assistance, and you get that assistance if you actually want employment. And we want you to get employment. So I can't help you. The person that's there to help, assist you, can't help you until you be honest with yourself and say, I need that help. Now, I probably will say something that somebody else won't say, and that's why I'm saying it. Because people know that I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel. And that is a true fact. That is a true fact. And I want you all to know that and be aware of that. We're not turning anybody down, but we're telling you we're here to assist you. But we have to know, and you have to say, I want that assistance. We can work with you in any way you need working with. But we have to be honest with ourselves, and we have to say where we need that help and what we need help with. Is that clear to everybody? Because what you see is what you get. And I'm just going to tell you the fact and the truth to be able to assist you. Because if I can't assist you and if I can't tell you the fact, there's no reason for you to sit in this room. So we're going to begin. And I am going to begin with, first of all, thanking the Northeast Guidance Center for allowing us to grace their space and use up their electricity. and their chairs and everything else. I want to say thank you to Northeast Guidance Center, and I want to say thank you to everyone who is participating in this meeting. I'm going to turn the mic over to our first speaker, which is Mike Lackey. And I probably did not say his name right, so I'm going to let him correct
exactly
his
right.
own name. And we're going to let Welcome come forth.
Testing. Huh?
So,
Oh, okay. You just cut it on. Yes, my name is Kenneth Hurd, and I'm the executive director of the Northeastern Family Community Center, and I was wanting to welcome all of you to the building. And just for those that's out in the community, I know your plight as a former corrections officer. I do know your plight, and I am here to help. So if there's anyone here that doesn't get the information they need or want from the individuals here, then you can always give me a call, and I will try and direct you to the proper place. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
and let me also add this one more thing too, as he indicated that. So you will have an opportunity to be able to ask questions. What I always say is no question is a dumb question other than the question that you don't ask, and you walk out the door and say, I should have asked, but I thought it was dumb. If you had that question, I can guarantee you somebody else probably had that same question and probably saying that's a dumb question. So please ask your questions. We're family in here, and we're here to try to assist our family. That's our purpose for being here. So you wouldn't worry about a dumb question asking your family. Don't worry about it being dumb asking us, because we're here to try to answer all of the questions that you have. And we are going to do it in an orderly and a respectful manner. We don't run disrespectful meetings with anybody, so we're going to do it orderly and respectful. So I'm going to turn the floor over now to FCA.
Hi, everybody. Again, my name is Mike Lackey. I'm with FCA Talent Acquisition. It is an honor to be here. We've been downtown on the east side with the community benefits process, been working with Detroit at Work, the mayor's office, and now with the council to bring these opportunities to you over the course of the next 2 years. So today is really day one for us. Since the council passed yesterday, we're starting to lay out the plans for the job opportunities. And I'm going to speak really quickly about our current skilled trades openings, and Nicole Sherrard-Freeman from Detroit at Work can give you a little bit more information on those production jobs as well, which then can lead to skilled trades opportunities within our organization. First off, let me say that I've been with FCA for 5.5 years, and there hasn't been a day that I've worked there that we haven't been looking for skilled trades people. You guys have heard it, I know, in these meetings previously, but it is a necessity that we have these. We need them, personally to make automobiles. But around the nation, talking to other recruiting leaders within other organizations, it's harder than hiring the most technical engineers and the most technical IT people. It's tougher to find skilled tradespeople. And I know we have the DNA for it here in Detroit. So I'm really excited that not only are we going to continue to hire for skilled trades, but we're going to have plenty more of those opportunities available in the next coming years. So if you're not familiar with our career website by now, it's careers.fcagroup.com. This is going to be, for right now, where we're going to go for all of our skilled trades openings. It's a really easy functionality. We tried to make it as easy as possible for you guys. All you have to do in the keyword there is type in skilled trades, or if you're a certain skilled trade you're looking for, millwright, die maker, jitney repair, electrician. Just type that into the keyword section and simply put Detroit, the location, and it's going to give you all of the jobs that are available at the current time in the area here. If you want to write down a number right now, you can go and look at the specific qualifications for each of these. These are, I have the job title, so we have pipe fitters, boiler operators, electricians, machine repair, tool makers, millwrights, mechanics for our gas and electric jitney, wastewater treatment operator, die makers, and mechanics for refrigeration and air conditioning. If you are getting into one of those trades or are in one of those trades, The number to the right is the job posting that you'll know you're looking at the right thing. And I know we'll speak to the qualifications in a little bit as well here too. So understand that these jobs right now, I just want to make one clarification. These jobs that you see up here and that you'll see for the next couple weeks, these are for any of our Detroit plants that we're currently hiring for, okay? Detroit area, I should say, because not only do they include the JNAP assembly plant, they include Warren Truck, and they also include our Sterling Heights assembly plant as well. The jobs for MAC that are coming that, we got approved, they are going to be opening up in the next couple weeks. When they do open up, not only are they going to be available on this website, but they're also going to be available through Detroit at Work and the mayor's website as well. We are prioritizing Detroiters. We are fast-tracking them through our process because it is in everybody's interest to hire as many Detroiters as possible. And quite frankly, as long as I've been in recruiting for 20 years, and one of the biggest things recruiters look for is for people that work close to where they're going to work, live close to where they're going to work. They show up more, they stay longer, and they're more bound to go with you down the road because they're invested in that community. And the more people we have working closer to the plant means we have more businesses closer to the plant. And the more businesses we have closer to the plant, the more people are going to want to come live near those businesses near the plant. And it's that ripple effect that we're looking to make on the east side with this new development. So that's all I have. I did want to shift it over to Nicole Sherrod-Freeman from Detroit at Work.
Thanks, Mike, and thanks to Council President Jones for inviting us to join you here today. So I lead DESC, and DESC is the engine behind Detroit at Work. So the first thing I want to do is be sure that we're clear about where you go for opportunities today, like right this minute, and where we're going to direct you going forward. So as Mike just said, for the opportunities, skilled trades opportunities that are available right this minute through FCA that you get priority for, go to, and I don't know Mike's website. Mike, what is it? FCA Careers?
I'm sorry, yeah, it's, well, you can get there a couple ways, but it's careers.fcagroup.com. If you just go to Google and put FCA jobs, click on that.
Oh, and career is CAREER.
Sorry about that, I was typing fast. Careers, yep. It's with an S.
With an S. Careers with an S. CAREERS. So those are the opportunities that, quite frankly, Council President Jones ensured were part of the development agreement, ensured that those opportunities, those skilled trade opportunities, would be available for you right now, today. You can go to that website right now as a skilled trades and apply. The opportunities that I want to talk to you about are the production operator jobs. 4,200 jobs that will be available later this year, so we're expecting the application to open in August or September. Is that still right, Mike? And this is FCA's application. We're running it through DetroitAtWork.com. But when those applications open for the production operators, and I'm going to talk in just a minute about what the requirements are for that job and ask Mike to weigh in too, we want you to go to DetroitAtWork.com. You have to go to DetroitAtWork.com to apply for those production operator openings if you want Detroit priority. You have to go to DetroitAtWork.com. So in case, if any of you missed what Detroit priority looks like and what that means, it's the first time that FCA has ever done it anywhere in the country. It is the first time that Detroit City Council President and the rest of council and the administration have gotten that kind of deal for Detroiters. For the first 2 weeks that the production operator application opens, priority will be given to people who live in the impact zone. That's zip code 48213, 48214, 48215, returning citizens, and veterans. Should I say that again? Yes. Okay. So for the first 2 weeks that the production operator application opens on DetroitAtWork.com, priority will be given to zip codes 48213, 48214, and 48215, returning citizens and veterans. For the next 2 weeks that the application is open, priority will be given to all other residents in Detroit. Those first 3 zip codes that I named are the impact zone. They're right around JNAP and the MAC facility. So that's by design.
Wait until all of the presentations are over with for your questions.
Which means I'm gonna talk faster. Right. And so let's talk for just a minute about what the basic requirements are for the job. And Mike, because you are FCA and I am not, I'm DSC Detroit at Work, I'm gonna ask you to correct me if I mess up anything here. You'll do that, I know you will. All right, so for the production operators, those jobs that will open in August/September, you have to be 18. You have to have a high school diploma or the equivalent, so you can have a GED as well. As council president says, we can't say it enough, tell your family, tell your friends, you have to be able to pass a drug screen. Recreational use of marijuana, prescription use of marijuana will get you kicked right out of the process. There are no questions. There are no second chances to pass that drug screen until some months, many months later, so you will miss. Tell your friends, tell your family, they will miss that first window of priority access if they can't pass the drug screen. Recreational use and prescription use of marijuana gets you kicked right out of the process. No questions.
And for those that don't know what prescription use is, medical marijuana. Breaking it down, medical marijuana.
You will have to pass a pre-application, and we're gonna help get you ready for that. You have to pass an assessment. Don't be put off by that, because we're gonna help get you ready for that too. All the parts of the application you need to get through, Detroit at Work is gonna help you prepare for that before the application opens. You'll start to see information sessions and preparation sessions in mid-June. So you'll see it on billboards, you'll hear it on the radio, you'll see it on social media if you're on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook. You'll hear it in places of worship, you'll hear it in community centers, you'll hear it in places like this. You will see this city covered with information on where you get more information. So either DetroitAtWork.com or just watch your environment and you'll start to see that in mid-June. You will, in order to apply, have to have, what is the word? That means, no, your ID, photo ID. Photo ID that will have to be either state of Michigan or your driver's license or your passport. So if you have a Detroit ID, it won't work for the application. State of Michigan, driver's license, or passport, and your social security card. So you've got to have that to actually fill out paperwork that you'll need. And then, as I mentioned, all the parts of the application that you fill out once FCA opens it, we are going to work with you on the front end. I don't think FCA has ever worked with a partner in another state or city that's doing the degree of prep that Detroit at Work is doing. And we've never partnered with a company as large as FCA to get you ready in the way that we're going to get you ready here shortly. You've got to do the work, but we're going to work to get you ready. So for everyone who leaves an email address, and I think I heard Linda say this, I think I was out in the hall, you'll get all the details that I'm walking through. We intended to have this for you on a pretty PowerPoint like Mike's, but that didn't work out. So I may have the PowerPoint later, but we'll email it to you. So Linda's gonna email all this information that I just walked through, and then it's also available right now on DetroitAtWork.com.
Okay, so medical or recreational drugs. Either one is not, because I keep stressing that because I've been asked in the Skilled Trades Task Force meeting, if it's medical marijuana, will that matter? And yes, it will matter because there are no laws on the books right now that will say that if you have a prescription or if it's medical marijuana, that will excuse you. There are no laws neither city, state, or federal. There are no laws on the books, and so therefore, that's why I keep stressing it to everyone. The other thing is, if you need identification, because sometimes people say, I don't have identification. I don't have what I need to get identification. We need to know that so that we can help you get the identification you need. The other question that's often asked, what happens if I'm a returning citizen? If I've had a felony, does that matter? No, it does not matter. We are trying to work with everyone, returning citizens or not returning citizens. We are trying to work with you to help you get a job, either on the production line or either skilled trades. But we are trying to work with everyone.
One point about returning citizens. So if you could please help us get the word out. So the number one reason that FCA and so many other organizations reject returning citizens is because returning citizens don't identify it on the front end. So there's a box, and they ask if you have a felony, and folks, because they're embarrassed or think no one will find out, they check no. They check no. And then when they run the background check and they find that it's that you have a felony background, they'd have hired you if you'd have just told them. But because you said no, you've now lied on your application, and that's what gets you kicked out of the process. So FCA has agreed to be more understanding, yes, about felony backgrounds here in a way that I haven't seen anywhere else. So please disclose. It does not get you kicked out of the process.
So in other words, don't lie on the application, tell the truth. I'll just break it down for everybody. Tell the truth, because you can get the job, and once you get the job, and it has happened, there have been people who've gotten a job and have been working, and because they lied on the application, they were terminated. So please tell the truth. I don't see my next person who was going to be presenting, so I'm going to move forward with questions and answers because I've seen a few hands. Where is the mic? So I'm going to ask if you will come up.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Okay, I need you to make sure. Okay. If you can move up toward me some, so that you can come up just a little. If you can stand toward the side with the mic, yep, so that she can get you. Okay. Stand, go back. Okay.
Good afternoon, Madam President. Question is the priority process, first 2 weeks to the impact zones, second to in returning citizens and veterans, the second 2 weeks to the rest of the Detroit residents. Priority meaning, what exactly does that mean? Are there selection criteria, extra credits? What does that mean in the evaluation process of applicants?
Yeah, it's like the job is open literally for 2 days, and we get enough applicants. Like, that's how much in demand these jobs are. So in order to make sure that we get Detroiters there and get them priority, think about the hiring process like getting in a line, right? And if you get in the line first, you get hired first, right? So we're basically, through those 4 weeks, allowing Detroiters first in the impact area, in those 3 zip codes, and then Detroit residents to get in line before we open up the jobs to the general public, right? So the general public will not be able to apply before Detroiters. So therefore, there is no way that someone from the general public can be in front of a Detroiter. But you have to use the process, and you have to go through Detroit at work in order to get in that line.
There's many positions that you listed on the film there, but I wanted to work on the line. I don't want to do like
Yeah,
an
for sure.
electrician or what is that? That's production operating.
Yep.
That's what that is. And is there a skill set for that?
Yeah, no, qualifications, which Nicole had laid out before, simply need to be 18 years old. You need to have a high school equivalency. And those are the production jobs. I know that Councilwoman has, it's a skilled trades task force. So I just want to mention the skilled trades opportunities. Now, if you're talking about skilled trades at FCA, so, and you don't have the qualifications yet,
Right.
if you get one of these production operator jobs, you can apply for an apprenticeship internally at FCA. Because when we
Right.
get our apprentices, we get them from the line, right? People that want to become skilled trades people. They go through these apprenticeship program, then you can go into skilled trades.
And we can start applying for this at the end of August and the beginning of September?
That's when the official applications and interviews are going to start opening up. Right now,
You can do it
Detroit at
prior?
Work is going to collect that information. Go ahead.
And
Right, that's right.
Detroit Work, where are you located?
DetroitAtWork.com is the website to go to, but we are also at, right now, the one-stops, Detroit at Work Career Centers, one-stop. So there are 3 of those open right now. We'll have a total of 8 open in the coming few months. That process was going to take us until the end of the year, but we're accelerating it. And then there will be many other spots across the city that I mentioned earlier, so places of worship, community centers. We're hoping to get into some schools when kids aren't there. We'll bring the mobile unit out, so there will be multiple places to get to information fairs and the application preparation.
Wonderful. And I'd just like to thank the panel for bringing this to Detroit citizens. I most am appreciative, especially if it works out right. Everything you say comes to pass, so it'll be great. Thank you.
We're excited.
Before she asks her next question, if you do not have your GED, a high school diploma, Detroit at Works will be prepared to help you get your GED. So look, we're trying to help everybody. And if you want help, there is no reason why you cannot get help other than you do not go up on the website for Detroit at Work. So we're bringing everything to you. We will continue to have meetings and special meetings as well to try to assist and get the word out.
Good afternoon. Thank you guys for coming out to the community to give us the information on this important project. One question I have is, we talk about the marijuana, but what about opioids in your system? Is that going to be a factor?
Yeah, that's part of our standard drug screen as it is. So opioids as well.
Okay. Also, I checked professional on my sign-in. So is that going to go through Ms. Nicole at Detroit at Work also?
The which one?
The professional jobs.
Oh, yeah, the professional jobs. So Detroit at Work is handling the production operator jobs and the skilled trades jobs as well. So if there's any other openings for MAC, I'm sorry, let me restart that. If there's any opening regarding this MAC launch, which actually part of JNAP is part of as well too, it's going to be going through Detroit at Work, right? It's going to have the openings and the availability on the Detroit at Work website.
My last question.
Sure.
There's been talk about persons that may come into the city to say that they live in the city for these jobs. What is the criteria for residents in order to apply for these jobs, even if you come into the city saying that you live in 48213?
Yeah, so it's validated, right? So if you fill out an application, and as we heard before, if you lie about your felony background on the application, you're done, right? If you lie, the application isn't valid, and we move on. So it's the same thing with your address. One of the pieces of information you put on there is your zip code and your residence. And if you don't live there and you can't prove that you live there, you're not going to get a job. So, same way.
Thank you.
How y'all doing? First of all, I'd like to thank all y'all, people like y'all and like Denise Thomas, 'cause I'm a returning citizen. I did a lot of time. As soon as I came home, a job with the city was available to me, so thanks for that. Now, my primary question is, when you say assessment, do you mean like the gains test?
That's a great question. So we are getting you ready for the FCA assessment. So the FCA assessment, and Mike, you should speak to this, is part behavioral questions and then math aptitude and some mechanical reasoning.
Okay.
So we're going to be getting you ready for that.
Okay, so if I want to do something to expedite the study on my own right now, what should I be studying right now?
Yeah, so basic math, and Mike, so the reason I'm speaking right now and Mike is not is because I'm trying to be mindful that he needs to respect the application process for
Right.
FCA. And so, but Mike, you lean in any time here if you want.
Again, it's basic math. It's mechanical, like logical reasoning. And then a lot of it, you guys have taken some of these tests possibly if you've applied at other places. It has to do with assessing your leadership style, your work style, like how you like to work. Okay. If you like to work in a team, if you like to work independently, how you deal with conflicts at work, how you deal with pressure. That's some of the stuff the test on. So a lot of it are things that you can't study for. It's just kind of your style and your personality. And unless you wanted to change that or somehow try to, that's probably not going to change over the course of the next year. You know, and one thing too, when you take this test, because I hope a lot of the people in this room will be taking this test and will be applying with FCA. I just want to give you one kind of word of comfort. The test, when you take it, because I've taken it a couple times, it makes you feel like you're doing a bad job, like it does. You're going to feel like you're bombing it, and you're not. You just answer the questions as truthfully as possible and as quickly as possible, and you'll do just fine. But you're going to. I know you're already stressed when anybody's stressed when you start to take an assessment test to get a job. This test in particular, though, will make you feel like it's hard because a lot of the answers are timed, and you'll stress out. Just relax, take the test as best you can, and get you through the process.
Okay, what's the name of the test again?
We do it through, we have like this third-party vendor that gave us the test, that made the test for us.
Okay.
So it's within the FCA application software.
All right, appreciate you answering my question, and thanks a lot, y'all.
One of the other things that we'll be doing, sir, to get folks ready for the math and mechanical aptitude part of it is when we start the pre-work, there will be at the Detroit at Work centers, when we come out to mobile units, when we have pop-ups, there will be ways for you to take either online or by paper just a basic assessment of your math skills and your mechanical reasoning, and then we'll have resources to give you. Either we'll have tutors on site, or you can go to other places for tutors. We'll have worksheets you can take with you and do on your own, and we'll be able to direct you to websites so you can build your skills.
Okay, a couple of people joined us that are part of the skilled trades, and we have not had an opportunity to introduce them. If you two can introduce yourselves, please. Just your name and what union you're from and your position.
My name is Adrian Bonds. I'm president of Roofers Local 149.
Good afternoon. My name is Rick Bruce. I'm with the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 58.
And you had a question down there.
I want to just mention one thing. When you go to take these tests, one thing that you might want to do, because it's out there for you to do, is that there's something called a Workkeys Test. And the Workkeys Test has some math on it and some general knowledge, and it might help you to just go online and just take it over and over again. It's a sample test, and it'll get you familiar with taking tests. And it will help you be comfortable when you go to take their test. It's not necessarily the same test, but it's going to help you, and you're going to be able to get some information from that test that will be useful.
Hold on. You might have got here a little late, but let me say this. Anybody that has any questions, you have to go to the mic to ask your question. There is a reason for that, and the reason is this meeting is being taped for those who are not able to get here. You have to be on the mic in order for your question to be heard. And we are trying to do this in an orderly manner. So if you holler out a question, somebody else might holler out a question all at the same time, and nobody is going to understand two people hollering out a question at one time. So therefore, I ask everyone to please ask your question through the mic.
Let me just mention, it's going to be Workkeys. That's the name of it, Workkeys Test. And you can go online. I know the plumbers have one on their website. They have a test, the Workkeys Test, on their website. So you can go to the plumber's website and you can get it. Just type in plumbers Workkeys Test. Just type in Workkeys Test and it's going to come up, okay?
All right, so I got kind of like two questions. So I didn't took tests when I applied for jobs, but it wasn't like graded. Like it wasn't no pass or fail. They was just trying to like figure you out. So I was asking, is this like a pass fail type of test or?
Yes, it's a test in the way of assessment. It's not like a personality test, so we know about you. We have a certain work style that, we've asked our hiring managers to help us identify the type of people that they want working for them.
Right.
And we administer this test for all our production operators across the United States. And there is a certain, profile that, you won't get past that portion of the test. So it is a knockout portion of the assessment process.
Okay. All right, I got one more question. For the returning citizens, if a person returning do they have to live in Detroit or?
No, I mean, here's the thing about returning citizens as it is, and this is FCA policy. Having a felony does not knock you out, right? We
Right.
consider many things. We consider what age you were when the crime was committed, how long ago that was, the severity of the crime, and we look at everybody on a case-by-case basis.
Right.
We are going to be focusing on returning citizens in Detroit, but returning citizens even outside of Detroit are going to get consideration.
But no, I'm asking, is they part of the first 2 weeks though?
No.
All right.
So let me just clarify this. So returning citizens in 48213,
Right.
214, and 215, and veterans are part of the first 2 weeks. And then returning citizens and veterans across the rest of the city of Detroit are part of the second 2 weeks.
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you. That's it.
Thank you. My name is Kimlita Davis Wilson. I am a current FCA employee, temporary employee with Local 1700. I actually came straight from work to ask this question. As you already know, as a temporary employee, I don't have the same opportunities for apprenticeships. Since I applied, I have been a temporary employee for a year now. Since I applied, I have completed pre-apprenticeships and got certifications in management and some skilled trades. Now, since I was already hired, do I automatically go in, because I work QBS currently, do I automatically go in as production operator since I'm already hired as that, or do I have the same opportunity to now apply for those skilled trades? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's a good question. And honestly, because I don't do the internal hiring, so all I do for FCA is we handle talent acquisition external. What you're talking about, so you're internal right now, so that's an internal process that they have with the union. So quite honestly, I don't have the answer for you. I can get someone who has an answer for you, though, if you want to talk right after, and I can get you to the right person.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because we aren't allowed to do the apprenticeships and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
First off, I want to thank you guys for coming out. I appreciate it. I have a question for President Jones. First of all, I want to thank you for renegotiating that deal with Chrysler. It didn't seem like a really good deal, and you did a good job with that, so I appreciate that. And also, the question I want to ask you I forget your name, sir.
Mike.
Mike, what is the actual the pass rate for the test? Is it?
My HR and legal department would kill me if I gave
That's
that
okay.
information. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, we can't disclose publicly
Yeah, I
how
understand.
many people are going through. It's just important that we get as many people applying as possible, because the more people that apply for this job that are Detroiters, the more Detroiters are going to have jobs. And that's the simple math of it.
And one more question for Councilman Jones. I'm trying to get into the Access for All program, and I keep getting denied. You think you could help me to understand why?
Okay, you're trying to get into Access for All?
Yeah. And
Okay.
It's kind of personal. I want to put it out like that, but you know what I mean?
Okay, did you go online and apply?
I did everything, yeah. yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Did you go for an interview yet?
They didn't even call me for an interview. No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't
But,
know when
but
their
prior
next-
to someone else being there, I was called for an interview, but this time I wasn't, so. I don't
Okay,
understand
well, you know what, let me take your information when we're finished here, and I'll
Sure.
go ahead and speak to them and find out when we're all finished.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Travis Peters. I want to say salutes and thanks to the panel, especially kudos for giving our military veterans part of that first initial application process. My question is more of a consideration. Last year I was hired. I went through the orientation process. I was hired, but after that, FCA refused to accommodate my physical disabilities and amongst other things from my military service. Some of the jobs you listed earlier, I'm qualified for 3 of them. I can do 5 of them, hands down, no question. But like myself and other military veterans, they can do these jobs, but your companies aren't willing to accommodate us with the disabilities. Let me give you an instance. I have sleep disorders and I suffer from severe migraine headaches. So some days I may not be able to function because of the migraines that might knock me out for 3 days. But I can do the job. I may have, I have narcolepsy that I developed in the military, so I may have something, not that I'm gonna go to sleep on this equipment and cause death, or maybe you can accommodate me with maybe there's a sleep room. I just want you to take that in consideration and think about that. I appreciate you. Have a good day.
Certainly, thank you.
Let me add this as well. So FCA is here. We do the Skilled Trades Task Force meeting every day before FCA came here. There are trades that we have at our meetings all the time. If you are not accommodated by FCA, there might be another trade that can accommodate you. There might be, I'm gonna repeat that, there might be another trade that can accommodate you. But let me say this is an opportunity for everybody, whether or not you are hired on at FCA, or whether or not you hired on at ACF, wherever you're hired on, this is an opportunity to help prepare you for your next step in the city of Detroit to be able to get work. Because we have Detroit employment, I can't even think, solutions here to help assist. So this is an opportunity, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, since I've been on council 14 years, that we have seen this opportunity to be able to assist people in the city of Detroit. If you need assistance and you don't get it, shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on Detroit for not helping you prior to now. But you have the help now. FCA is going to be able to hire so many people. But there are still going to be many openings in the skilled trades and common. As you know, Detroit is constantly building right now, and developments are constantly coming into the city of Detroit. We didn't just start this for FCA. This is a special meeting that we're having with FCA here. We have been doing this for 10 years with the trades. Some of these faces you see up here, Rick Pruce, I've been looking at him once a month for the last 10 years at this skilled trades meeting. And so we're here to try to assist the people to try to get assistance in the city of Detroit. You have a bridge that's getting ready to be built. You have a lot of opportunities. You have more developments. That you have the highest building in the United States. It's going to be the Hudson's building that's getting ready to get built on Woodward. You have a lot of opportunities coming into the city of Detroit. And it's now time for you to help yourself get the help that you need. We're here to try to help you. Get the assistance while it's here. We want you to get into FCA. But if you're not that fortunate, we still want you to get a job and get a career if it's in the trades. But we're here to help you get whatever you need to get in order to get employment, to be legal, because that's what it's all about. If you're a returning citizen, I don't want you to return back to the other side. I want you to stay on this side. So we're here to try to assist you.
Thank you, ma'am. Could we have all of our military veterans please to stand to be acknowledged for your service? Military veterans, please stand. We thank you so much. And could we also have our returning citizens to stand so we can properly welcome you back home? We understand you don't want to stand, but welcome home.
Let me say this. It ain't no shame in nobody's game in here. Because let me say, we all got to pass. Help me, somebody. We all got to pass. It might be different from your past, but everybody up here can tell you something in their past that they have had. And we are family in here to try to help everybody.
Yeah, my question is kind of the same with the young lady that came up here before. I work at Warren Chrysler dealership, Warren Truck. I'm a TPT. I've been working there since 2017. They said no TPTs can take skilled trades. You have to be a full-time, and they're not doing any rollovers anytime soon. So with the skilled trades you guys got going on, how would that affect me if I want to do something? TPT is a temporary employer. So I still have benefits, but half of the benefits of a full-time.
Yeah, and it's a good question, and again, and I'm sorry, and I can direct you, if you want to offline, I can direct you to the right person for it, but I can't speak to how internally, like how many temps are getting rolled over to like, I guess, full-fledged. You know, I'm here to talk about really the hiring, like externally. We want to get, and believe me, if there's anybody who's, though, from our perspective, from mine and Mike's perspective, who do the recruiting for the skilled trades, you know, we're pushing, and we're going to collective bargaining soon, you know, we're pushing for, you know, more robust apprentice programs to get as many people in as possible so we can be self-sustaining.
You know, the other thing I wanted to add is that they're not taking TPTs and placing them into skilled trades positions. Those positions require 8 years of experience or DOL. So that's pretty much the requirements that are necessary. If you're a TPT, your first move will be to take a full-time position in production and then get into the apprenticeship program and then translate into the skilled trades pool. Here's the thing, it's very few skilled trades apprentices at FCA, which you probably know about. It's a very small pool, but your goal should be to get in the full-time job first, get into the apprenticeship program, and then matriculate into the skilled trades group. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Thanks.
Thanks.
Good afternoon, everybody. Basically, my question is as far as the equal employment opportunity, I understand the first 2 weeks is specifically focused on 13, 14, and 15 as an address-wise as far as the community. So by that being said, are those first 2 weeks compared to the next 2 weeks, is it like less of a consideration between those 2 weeks because of the outside zip code area?
Yeah, just think of it as, like I said, getting in line, right? So the people that are going to be able to get in line first. And some of you I recognize from the room, at the beginning of this, a couple of months ago, we went through a community benefits process. So we met with the community that lives right in the impacted area, and I see some people nodding their heads that were there. And they had to negotiate with us what they wanted as a community. And one of the things that they wanted clearly as a community is they wanted, you know, we obviously wanted Detroiters to get jobs, but they wanted special consideration because they live in all the neighborhoods that surround that plant. So what we did was we gave them the chance to get in line first, and then all the rest of, you know, and every other Detroiter is going to be able to get in line right after them. So yeah, they are prioritized in that line.
So it's not going to weigh different on outside
No. We assess every candidate the same, right? Everybody is assessed to the same standards. It's not, when we say priority, it's not like if you took a test, we like gave you an extra 10 points or something, right? I mean, you're taking the same test and you got to pass the same test as everybody else. It's just when you get to take the test, right? And they get to take the test first, pass it first, get hired first.
Okay, understandable.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yep.
And someone might say, what's the community benefits? If you vote, it was on the ballot. And that process is something that came up through the Detroit City Council, and there were 2 different processes of community benefits that was on the ballot. And the community benefits is a community benefits if someone is doing a development in your community, and it is at a certain, the project is over a certain amount, then it requires for the corporation, the company, or whomever to come in and have a neighborhood advisory council that sits and negotiates some of the things that the community would like to see in their community. There are 2 people that are picked from the community. The other people are picked by the council by the mayor. They are appointed by the council and the mayor, and they are voluntary positions from your community where the project is going. The impact area is the area that is right around the project, within so many feet around the project. That is the impacted area. So if you don't know what the community benefits process is, that is what the community benefits is, and it was something that was voted on the ballot of 2 years ago? I want to say 1 year ago. 1 year ago, and we are now at the process where we are have the ability to make some changes in the community benefits ordinance. So it's an ordinance, it's a law that Detroit has, that when development comes into your area and they are receiving subsidy, any type of dollars from the city, then, and they are over a certain amount of money, of dollars that they are receiving from the city, then they have to go through the community benefits process.
Hello. I took a test for the state of Michigan, and it deals with applied math, locating information in mechanics, and I scored a silver on there. And we supposed to be able to like go to jobs in the state of Michigan, and they supposed to honor, most jobs honor that. I want to know if y'all honor, would y'all honor a certificate for that?
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't. I wish it was easy and we could import it, but it's going to be very similar to that, because just from what you're describing right now, it sounds exactly like it. It's just a different test that we had customized for us.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Okay, my name is Don Martin from the Welding Concepts Training. I'm here to, about the skilled trades portion. I've been a skilled trades member for 50 years, retired from General Motors, American Axle, and in the process of my retirement years, I'm putting together a skilled trades training center in Southwest Detroit for welding and metal fabrication. I have a 13,000 square foot building that I'm working on funding to get things together. But in the meantime, I have a mobile training unit with 10 state-of-the-art welding stations in it to help train the next generation of skilled welders, and also worked with the Randolph program to help put the welding program back in there. We had 2 cohorts just completed, one last year, and then we just graduated one, well, Friday was the last day for our welding program. I brought dinner in for the students, gave them a gear bag valued at about $500 to help start their career in the welding program. Last year, we graduated 16 people. Out of 16 people, there was 4 ladies in the class. As of just the other day, I heard from one of the last ladies that she ended up just getting into the millwright, carpenter and millwright apprenticeship program. So far, I think all but 4 people have received a job already. And then we just completed this class here. I think some students are already going out to for job interviews already, and they'll get their final certificates and stuff Thursday. And along with the program, I offer a AWS D1.1 qualification test that's recognized highly in the industry for welders. It's in the gas metal arc welding process to get them started in production type jobs to gain the experience. Maybe hopefully someday they could be the future skilled tradespeople. So, and I highly support what Councilperson Jones does with the skilled trades, and I make as many meetings as I can, and also Councilperson's Air Returning Citizens Task Force. Because the audience that I'm reaching out to is disadvantaged youth, unemployed, underemployed, veterans, returning citizens, also job shifting adults, because in the trades now, it's just not one single trade, it's a multi-craft. So welding plays a large part in all these different trade applications. It's a pleasure to be, come to an opportunity like this.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Hi, my name is Brian Chosen. I'm currently with the Right Productions. Brenda, it's good meeting you. I've worked closely with you and Ray Solomon doing senior days and events down at the former Shane Park, now Aretha Franklin Amphitheater, so I look forward to seeing you this summer. But I've been interested in applying for Chrysler for some years now. With the impact community getting the first dibs on applying. My question really is, I've put in 2 referrals in the last 3 years from employees who are full-time employees. Where in the line would that put me as far as the impact people, as far as, you know, them getting first dibs and then outside of that zone?
So you, let me understand this correctly, right? So you're a UAW member now?
No.
No.
No, I'm just a regular
Oh,
guy
so
trying
you-
to get in Chrysler. I've put in 2 referrals with FCA through full-time employees when you all give out your referrals.
For full-time people, like the salaried people, or for the line workers?
The line workers, when you all
Yeah.
give them referrals to give.
So
to
we
a
don't
family.
have, the only individuals that can refer for production inside are UAW members. We get those through the union. Tom Lewan, who had spoken at one of the previous meetings, has said he had a commitment from the union that they would be after the Detroit population if it was referred by UAW. But like I'm a regular employee, like I can't refer for the production
Well,
jobs.
these were production workers who are in the union
Yeah,
and things
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
You all give out referrals maybe once a year. So in the past 3 years, I've put in 2, and I was just wondering with the impact community getting first dibs, where would that put me in line?
Right, so that would put you after the Detroiters, but before the general public.
Thank you.
Yep.
So I'm going to ask, you can let these ask their questions, and then after that, we're going to hold the questions until the next presentation is completed. So they can ask theirs.
Hi, I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here. My question was a little similar to his. As far as in the references and all that, I've been applying, trying to apply for years and years. So now when I go on the website and I try to get in there, it's something concerning my email, which I've called you all several times for, and it's like it blocks it out. So it's hard for me to even put my resume in to even apply, and I've been trying to apply for years.
That's easy. When we're done,
It's FCA.
when we're done, you can come up and I'll pull you up and I'll see what I can do.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
That's right, put your hands together. This is real-time solutions here today.
How everybody doing? I think most of y'all know me already, so I'm gonna try to be fast and blunt. Basically, I've been trying for Chrysler for a while, but I gave up on Chrysler because I know you have to be certified welder to actually, I guess, apply for their apprenticeship program. But there's no certification programs in Detroit. They give you a certificate, but it's not certified. And I know the guy Don that just walked up here. I've been conversing with him for the last 6 years, so we know what we need to do to actually get into certain jobs. But I wanted to first, and like most importantly say, Local 636, stop endorsing them because they had me do everything, and I went through everything. I drove to Troy, took the test. I did everything they asked me to do, and they still rejected me. I've been welding for 7 years, and they still rejected me. I took their test. I waited for the apprenticeship program. I did almost everything, and when I say I've been following them since before they built the stadium, because the first time they said that they were doing an apprenticeship was before they built the Red Wing Stadium, and they literally said you had to come out to Troy and do their apprenticeship. At that time, I didn't have a driver's license. I couldn't drive to Troy every day. I paid off my driver responsibility fee. It took me 4 years to pay it off, and then I really got into the skilled trade. Then they rejected me after I got my resume built, I got my driver's license, and I literally had everything they asked me to do, and they rejected me after all that. But as far as I didn't even have a question. I was just coming up here to say that because I feel like as a Detroiter, people should know, certain people get up here and say that we hiring or we doing this for apprenticeship, and then you go through all the channels, and I'm not one of the best welders in the world, but as far as qualifying go, I've welded all over Detroit. I built a foundry over there on 4th Street for Socti. I was working for them for 2 years. And when I only left Socti so I can get into the apprenticeship at Local 636, and then they still rejected me.
So let me say this to you. Sometimes we have the Welders Union here at the meeting. Unfortunately, they are not here today, and so I cannot speak for someone else, and they can speak for themselves. So hopefully we will see you at another meeting where they are at. or either we will take your information and try to connect you with them so we can find out what's going on. But I can't say why or what is going on. I'm hearing one side of the story. I'm the person that always tell you 3 sides of the story: your side, they side, and then the real side. And so the real side, you have to find your way in between. So I don't want to speak for them. They're not here. I don't want to even try. But what I will do is try to connect you with them so that we can try to find out what's going on. Okay?
I've kind of already chosen not to deal with them. The local iron.
So you give us our whole story, and then you chose not to deal with
No,
it.
I was saying,
So,
I was trying to say stop endorsing them, because as a qualified candidate, they turned me down, and I went through all what I went through to go out there and do what they asked me to do. Like, I paid my fees and everything, and I still got rejected. That's like a slap in the face when you jump all of your hurdles.
okay.
And then you
I
still get
understand,
rejected.
but if I'm trying to assist you and you chose to not want to be assisted, maybe you can tell me after this meeting what you want me to try to do, if there's anything you want me to try to do, or you just needed to vent off how you felt. I don't know which one it is, but I will try to assist you if that's what you want. If I can't assist you, thank you for being here. Okay.
Okay, good for you.
Hi, my name is Ida Bird Hill, and I'm the CEO of Automation Works Institute. And given the fact that most of the plans is going to be very robotic, how are you situating individuals who are in computer programming, networking as part of the skilled trades?
That's a good question, but we're not. When you look at all of the descriptions that Mike Lackey put up, they were your typical trades. That's a more specialized trade, and our robotic and Allen Bradley and PLCs, typically they come from electricians, and so that's where we hired to handle that equipment. I don't know what exactly your school does, but maybe we can talk afterwards, and if it agrees with the equipment, then we can talk about it, but right now we're focused more on the electricians.
The reason why we asked that question, when you outsource it to those companies, there's very little diversity that goes on. And even though they do the equipment, there's a lot of programming that happens behind the scenes on that equipment. And every time they come up with a project, the first thing they say, we can't find people. But we're grooming them from a Cisco Networking Academy, which is Cisco Systems out of Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
And we just had our first graduating class.
Yeah.
So we know that they do exist because we're grooming them.
Yeah.
But we have to have some pressure, not just on FCA, but on all of your outsourcers, that they're going to do the same community benefits as this project has.
Yeah, that's another valid point, Ida. My only thought when I think about that is a lot of the folks that service the equipment work for the companies that put it in. So I think what you're getting at is they will employ some of your people to help put it in and help to fix it or service it. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly, and the only way they're going to do that is if you guys tell them that they're going to do it. Because otherwise,
well-
what happens is that when you start looking at the tech side of the house, there's very little diversity, because the first thing they would say that they're not qualified.
Can I tell you something
Yes.
right now? There's very little diversity in the skilled trades and manufacturing as well.
I know.
So this isn't, diversity there's no diversity across the board
Right.
in a lot of positions, because a lot of these positions were kept away. So we are very sensitive to the fact, and I am myself personally, being a black man, to look for anybody skilled trades or has the ability to have some sort of technological strength. I mean, I am not looking down on anybody, especially from a diversity standpoint.
Alrighty.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Hello, I wanted to know how you were going to prioritize the hiring of laid-off UAW workers?
So as we explained in the council, and we had explained at some of the council meetings, the returning, when we go to staff the plant, the UAW priority is before we go external. So Detroiters, people in the impacted area, are what we consider external candidates. You're not in the company right now. You've never been at the company. Those that are on UAW layoff are going to get first crack. Those UAW workers that
What is the process
are
for that?
layoff. It's a union process that's internal, to be honest with you. Again, I'm on the external side, where it's dealing with candidates that aren't here yet. If you need Are you with FCA now, or are you?
I'm a laid-off UAW worker.
Yeah, so I would go to your union representative, quite frankly, because they can give you a better timeline, or in terms of the process and how they could walk you through that. Because really, when you look at them returning, it's the union kind of presenting it. You know, the union is what gives it to us and says, these are our laid-off UAW brothers, and, you know, we go from there. So again, I don't have full visibility to that, but I would go to your union representative and they can get you in the right direction.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Hi, good evening, panel. I am retired, but I'm here to rep on behalf of some younger people that couldn't make it. You said that you would be prepared to, okay, drug-free strategy and preparation to ensure residents are able to pass a drug test. So, if you don't have medical insurance, will you have a facility for an individual to go and detox to see how good it feels to be sober? I mean, like, if someone's been smoking marijuana every day, basically all day, baby, and now they need to get clean, and how would they do it at home or where they're around their peers? So, and their medical insurance is no medical insurance now because their mothers and their parents they're 26, so they're not on their insurance any longer. So, will you have a place for them to go detox?
Yes, I can't speak to whether it's detox, but I can say that for anybody who is who has any substance use disorder, including marijuana, opioids, and the like, we'll be referring to Detroit Wayne Mental Health Authority. They have Detroit Wayne Mental Health Authority, and they have programs that are, again, I don't know I know it's cognitive-based therapy for marijuana and other methods, and that organization will be providing those services.
Okay, so do I need to write that down?
Detroit Wayne
I got it.
Mental Health Authority.
Okay, thank you.
Certainly.
And also, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not able to get a phone number or a name of a business or something like that, this program will be rebroadcast on Channel 10 several times. So you'll be able to watch it again.
Good afternoon, Council President Reginald Davis. It's been a while. Tell your team, great job on this one. But my question is addressed more to Nicole and Prudence. Is DESC/Detroit at Work and Prudence organization basically working with Chrysler Acquisition concerning the programs that we're currently running through things like the Career Tech Centers to actually have a match between people going through those programs and are actually coming out, so there should be a seamless transition? And I'm talking about things like robotics, computers, and control system. Because following up on Ida Bird, she's right. The IoT is here. Your refrigerator will be calling you saying, you know, you out of milk. And I've been living Chrysler for 6 months at the end of the line, basically. There is automation everywhere. And basically, when that line stops, it's money. Because I was in there when whatever a consumer blew up, and I got stuck in that plant for 2.5 hours trying to get out. So can you address those issues? Thank you.
So I'm happy to address your question, Mr. Davis, about whether there's a partnership between DESC, Detroit at Work, and FCA on all those other programs. The production operators, the skilled trades, and the professional positions are the first positions that we are partnering on. So anyone who has gone through a Randolph, Breithoff, any other program that Detroit at Work or DESC pays for, if they are interested in production worker, line worker jobs, skilled trades jobs, professional/management jobs, they have to go to DetroitAtWork.com to apply.
Okay, so someone asked something about diversity, and we do have someone here from the city of Detroit who is going to speak, and she is the director for the city of Detroit Civil Rights and Inclusion and Opportunities. Before she does that, let me say this to everyone. I am not here to hurt anyone's feelings. I am here to try to keep it real with everyone. I'm here to try to help everyone. So if I offended anyone, that is not my purpose. I just want to say that to everyone because I don't want anyone to be offended, because I'm not here to offend anyone. I'm here to try to help everyone. That is my purpose, to try to help everyone in any way that I can. If you want help, I can only help you if you want help. The second thing I want to say is, for those who have questions, you will still have an opportunity to ask your questions. I just want Ms. Dean to do her presentation, and following her presentation, you will be able to come back up and we'll continue through the question and answer process. Ms. Dean, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Council President. First, my apologies for my tardiness. I'm Charity Dean. I'm the Director of Civil Rights, Inclusion, and Opportunity for the City of Detroit. Our office is down in the City County building on the 12th floor. We do a lot of things in our office. First, we investigate claims of discrimination. And so we do that for not only city employees, but residents of the City of Detroit. That's one of the things that our office does. Our office also certifies Detroit-based businesses, women-owned businesses, minority-owned businesses. Our office runs a business opportunity program for that. And then lastly, our office's job is compliance and enforcement on most development. And so what I mean by that is the Executive Order 2016-1 that requires the hiring of 51% Detroiters on certain construction contracts. Our office is the office that monitors that as it relates to any community benefits ordinance, any project that goes through a community benefits process. It is our job in our office to make sure that promises are kept that are made to the community. And so I spoke at a couple of the FCA NAC meetings when they were meeting with the community as they were deciding what they wanted in their package. And it was really important for me to communicate to you that we have a fully staffed office. In fact, this council, specifically Council President, but this council has a lot of even more resources in the next fiscal year to make sure that we are doing the appropriate compliance and enforcement, not just on the executive order, but all of the development projects that fall within our purview. And so that's just a brief synopsis of what we do.
We're going to start back to our question and answers. There was 2 people who had come forth. If you have any questions, still come up here so that you can ask your questions. Mr. Winfrey, did you want to come and join us up here at the table?
Hello, my name is Dwan Williams, Detroit lifelong resident, and really appreciate the diligence of the City Council for getting such a good deal. And one of my questions is training for skilled trade test. It don't actually have to be with FCA, but is there outlets where you can receive training for the skilled trade test, whether it be the electric,
Yeah, what was your name again?
Dwan Williams.
Dwan. So I would encourage you to contact the Department of Labor. They're the one that create the apprenticeship programs, and what they can do, they can steer you on how to enter one of those, the testing, and give you more insight into next steps.
Okay, I was just looking for the tutoring or something, because some of us have been out of high school for years.
Can I speak to that? I think what I want to share with everybody, it's about having confidence when you take a test. I think we say test and everybody starts getting nervous. You know what? It's not that deep. You just have to know and be confident, send it that test, and know that you're the best and you'll do well. You can't be afraid of a test. I failed many tests, and you know what? It was okay. Now, I'm not saying you all are going to fail, but you have to believe that you can do the test first, sit down, and just do the test. We've been talking about a test for a half an hour like it's this big monster. It's not that big. It really isn't. We're making it big. So you be confident, connect with the Department of Labor, get that information about the apprentice program, and then take your first step. And don't be scared of the test.
Okay, and another problem a lot of people have with obtaining apprenticeships is the driver's license. So is there something to help with getting your driver's license up to par?
So, when you say driver's license, I don't know if you're talking about the driver's responsibility
Michigan
fee.
driver's license.
So, Michigan driver's license, are you talking about the fees for the responsibility fees that so many people had tickets, and because they had tickets, there was a responsibility fee that they could not afford to pay? Is that what you're talking about, or are you talking about just getting a Michigan driver's license?
No, actually, assistance with, I guess, tickets. Yep, thank you. Tickets, fees and everything with tickets, etc.
So, hold on, now, you done been to too many meetings, and I know you know better.
Is that too much?
So
Come on, man, you gotta be
the
quiet.
Responsibility fees have been waived. The responsibility fees, you don't have to pay the responsibility fees. Now, I don't know if, besides the responsibility fees, you still have tickets, or you're talking about people who still have tickets that need to be paid. So I know that 36th District Court did have a program where they were working with people who needed to pay, who had a bunch of tickets that needed to pay them. They have a process that they are going through, working with people on paying those tickets. It used to be you go on a Friday. I don't know if it's still Friday is still the day where they have put all those tickets together and then go through a process. But Detroit at Works, are you guys still doing something as far as that?
No, Detroit at Work helped with early payment of driver's responsibility fees. Those have all been sunsetted now, so all you'd have left at this point would be the ticket.
Oh, okay. So getting with I could do some research with 36th District Court and probably, okay, thank you.
Also, if you can also just get a state ID if you go to the Secretary of State while you're paying off your ticket, so that you can have something valid.
Oh. So again, I'm gonna ask everybody, please do not holler out from the floor. Everybody, nobody is excused for no reason.
All right. On the ticket, I'm Percy Johnson. In fact, I'm going to give you my phone number. If you have any additional questions or concerns, please text me help, and I will personally get with you and try to route you with some of the challenges that you are challenged with in trying to get into these trades. I've been tagging along these skilled trade task force meetings for the past 5 years, and I got a lot of information that I can pass on and give you to help you get in. My phone number is 313-719-9921. Just text me the word help. And by you doing that today, I know you were here at this meeting, and trust me, I will get with you and guide you and help assist you in your challenges. 313-719-9921. So by me coming to this meeting, some of the challenges that you were speaking on, especially with the tickets that we have been discussing on how to help relieve you, Southwest Solutions. If you go there and apply there, they can help you with some of those ticket fines that you have to help you get relief on some of those tickets that will help give you valid driver's license. Because once again, in order to get into skilled trades, you do need a valid driver's license. You know, for the various reasons, you'll be going to different job sites, you'll be going to different training school, and we need you to have valid driver's license in order to get in employment. But now, Focus Hope also have assistance for you to help some of your challenges that you might have to get your driver's license valid. But you have to go and apply in their programs in order for them to be able to assist you. And these are your tax dollar programs paying for this. This is not programs that you have to come out of your pocket and get in. Okay, so use that. I know Focus Hope, you can walk in on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and they will, you need to be there at 8:30 so they can help get you into their program. And once again, use my phone number. Okay, I'm gonna get going. Then they give me got to get out of here. So June the 22nd at 17188 Greenfield, we're having a felony expungement. With Judge Deborah Thomas to be there to help you get your record cleared up. We also got a lawyer firm that will be there to help if you have any legal fees, any legal concerns that you challenge with there. We have a law firm that will be there to give you free legal assistance. All right, and that location is 17188 Greenfield, Liberty Temple Baptist Church. It's going to start at 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock. The job fair and the recruiters will be there. And I'm asking you guys to please show up, everybody here at the panel, and for the job fair. And then Judge Thomas will be there from 1 to 3 to help you with your returning citizens assistance that you might need. I'm out.
Okay. Again,
Okay.
Percy is one that has been attending the Skilled Trades Task Force, like he said, for the last 5 years, so everything he said is true. He does give his phone number out, and if you need assistance that you feel we can help you with or have not answered your questions, you can give Percy a call. He will assist you. He does have our cell phone numbers. He has mine. And so if it's something that he cannot answer, he was a skilled trades and he retired from UAW as a skilled trades, right? Are you still working?
No, I'm still working. I'm
He's
retiring
still
this
working.
year.
Okay,
I'm
he's
a
still
pipe fitter
skilled
by
trades.
trade, so that's why I'm telling you, I got a day job. So please text me in the morning. Text me, and then I can help. That's why I'm telling you to text me. Please text the word help, and I will get with you and help assist you. All
And
right?
he is
Oh,
one that is very loyal with trying to assist anyone who wants to help themselves. So if you want assistance and he's giving his number out and you don't use it, again, shame on you.
So Asia Moses had to leave. She had a question of DECS planning to staff up in order to handle the high volume of candidates returning as assistants in order to avoid becoming bottleneck. If so, where will those jobs be posted?
Is DESC planning to staff up? The answer is yes. And so if what Asia's asking is, can she apply for the jobs that will be opening to staff up so that there aren't any bottlenecks when you go into a Detroit at Work Career Center or when the mobile unit comes out? Yes, those jobs will be posted on DESC's website.
Okay, thank you. Well, how soon will they be posted?
You got to let me work through the budget. It'll be next week.
Okay, thank you.
NDSC will have 8 centers around the city of Detroit to be able to assist people. I'm going to ask you, Stephen, after the last person there, we're going to let the trades that are here talk about their apprenticeship programs just in case someone is interested in getting into their apprenticeship program.
Good evening. I have a few things. One was I applied for FCA years ago. Response I got after going through the tests and everything, the physical, that I didn't, you know how they say they hire somebody with more qualifications than you, whatnot. Okay, I got a higher education background, so I didn't see the, didn't understand that. Also, for like one gentleman said, last couple of years, I had somebody give me referrals, and I've been applying. Now, they told me that even though I got the referrals, they locked me out the system to where I can't get back in. I called I think it's an 866 number. Called that number, spoke with the lady. She was telling me that I didn't display something on my application, in which I did. And I guess they took it down wrong or whatnot. So anyway, she had me contact, I guess y'all send y'all background to somewhere in California, New York or whatnot.
Yeah, just get, right afterwards, just get with me and we'll look at your profile and we'll clear it up for you.
Okay.
Okay, and we'll make sure that you can, my goal is to make sure that you can be ready to apply for this next window and this next opportunity is coming up. So if we have something technical in the system that's blocking you from doing it, first off, I apologize. Second of all, let's
did
figure
everything
it
they
out.
asked me. I called the number to the place y'all do. They sent it to me.
Yeah, I'm going to
I
ask you about that
disputed
too, because I want to know why you didn't get better help. So.
Yeah, they disputed and they said, I'm blocked. I'm for life. I can't get back in there, apply or anything.
Yep, we'll clear it up tonight.
All right.
All right.
Sure, you can give that a round of applause. We've got our last two folks here. I'm going to remind you, please, to check your phone, make sure it's on silent or vibrate, or off, right?
You need to answer the call. If it's not God calling you, step outside and call him back. If it's God, you can answer it. But if it's not, step outside and answer it.
I had a question for Mike.
Which one?
Caucasian Mike. I'm sorry, but the question I have for you, Mike, is I have experience with PLC from Wayne County Community College. You think that would kind of help me out with the application process of actually getting in?
So for the purposes of the production workers, we don't have any, there's no requirements for having PLC or any type of manufacturing background. You're kind of on an even playing field as far as that's concerned. I mean, PLC obviously is something that we look for in our electricians if you're looking for, to pursue a skilled trade. So if you hit all the other qualifications for an electrician, that certainly helps you. But for the purposes of the production operator job, it's not like we don't necessarily take someone with PLC over someone without PLC.
Gotcha. Okay. And is there any way I can get your card, ma'am? Is that possible? Afterwards, right? Okay. Thank you.
And for those of us who don't know what PLC means,
Programmable logic controls.
we still don't know.
I have a question about the skilled trades. I got a 2-year certificate in the skilled trade, and I've been doing it for the past couple of years. So when I get hired in, would I have to get hired off the line to continue my skilled trades, or how would that work out?
What I would encourage you to do, most of ours require 8 years or DOL certificate,
Right.
Department of Labor certificate. So you have about 6 years?
Yep, about 4 years in.
Pardon?
I got 2 years in school. and
Okay, about 4
couple
years in.
of-
Most of our requirements are at 8, or you can get the Department of Labor. If you get the Department of Labor, you can expedite it. It'll be faster. So if that's something you want to do, but we require 8 years of experience.
Right, a journeyman card.
Correct.
Right.
But you're already doing it, so I would say at the 8-year mark, I'll give you my card.
Okay.
All right?
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So I'm going to give this opportunity to the trades to talk about their trades. If they have an apprenticeship program, once they finish, if there's an opportunity to still ask questions, raise your hand if, that's all right, y'all don't like to raise your hand. But if you still have a question, once the trades finish, you'll still have an opportunity to come up here and ask your question.
Hi, I'm Prudence Rose with Musk Careers, and just so everyone knows, I put flyers out in the back there. They talk about all the 22 trades that are on the back of that flyer, so it talks all about how you can get in. If you go on the website, muskcareers.org, you can read about all the different trades. They're all there, and you can find out what you need to do. The requirements are pretty simple for 90% of them. You need to be 18 years or older. You need to have a high school diploma or a GED. You need to have a driver's license and a car for most of them because you go all over, and you can't rely on buses and Ubers to get you there on time. And being on time is one of the most important things that you can do as an apprentice in the trades. These are great apprenticeship opportunities, and I'm going to let the two people here that have their own apprenticeships talk about them. But I gave my cards back there, and I gave the flyers, so if you want to talk to me, you can. All right, well, I'll get some more when we're finished. Okay, it's muskcareers.org. I'll get some more flyers, and I'll let them talk, and I will get some more flyers and bring them in.
Again, my name is Rick Pruce. I'm with the IBEW Local 58. We are the construction trades. I also represent the building trades And sitting to my left here is Adrian Bonds with the roofers. There is a lot of construction going on in the city of Detroit, and thanks to our council president, Brenda Jones, for putting this meeting together. And like she said, we have been one of the anchors to this. Yes, absolutely. And thank you also for bringing FCA to the table to explain all the different opportunities. Thank you again for all this. And it's great to see so many people in the audience. How many people are here for the first time, just so I know? Okay, thank you. That's great. So you're here for the first time, so there's a lot of information. There's going to probably be too much information all too fast, but if you go to our website, it's ibewlocal58.org. Again, that's ibewlocal58.org. In the top left-hand corner, there'll be a icon that you can click for apprenticeship programs. You can click on that. It'll give you a full description of what it takes to apply. As Prudence had already said, 18 years old, high school diploma, GED. On ours, we're probably going to have there's probably going to be more difficult test than some of the other crafts would have. And unfortunately, that's just the nature of the business. But if you do not pass that test the first time, as it's been said before, take it again, try again. You can apply multiple times, you can test multiple times. It's not a one-time window, like Chrysler is doing this hiring window right now, and there's 10 years worth of work that's in the pipeline right now. We have an aging population. We have probably about, in the next 5 years, about half of the trades are going to retire. There's going to be ample amount of opportunity for Detroiters. There's a lot of opportunity right now, and working with Nicole, trying to figure out how we're going to get everybody prepared for all the work that's coming. It's an exciting time to be in Detroit. It's probably the best time we've ever seen since I've been around. So again, if you go to our website, it's ibewlocal58.org. And as Prudence had said, mustcareers.org is also another great resource that will connect you with all the skilled trades. There's something for everybody. Not everybody wants to be an electrician because of all the different challenges as far as you got to. Not everybody wants to be an electrician. It can have its own set of apprehensions for some people. But I will say that there is a lot of great opportunities in the trades that you may not be aware of. That's why the Access for All program is great. You might think that all electricians do are replace light bulbs. There's so much more. You heard about PLCs, you heard about IT. There's so many other different things that we do in the electrical field that you might not be aware of. 3 different apprenticeship programs that we have currently. And if anybody has any additional questions, I'll stay after.
Hello, my name is Adrian Bonds. I'm with Roofers Local 149. We have a 4-year apprenticeship program. It's strictly commercial roofing, no residential. My local does most of the big 3 work throughout the country. We're the biggest traveling local in the country. So if you want to reach out to me, my number is 313-961-6093.
Well, thank you again for inviting me. I'm Chris Phillips with the Operating Engineers. We're the heavy equipment operators. We have an application process that is once a year, and it's coming up June 10th through the 14th. You can access the application online at www.oe324.org. And like Mr. Pruce said, it's a really rewarding field in the trades. It's something I wouldn't have considered, as a young adult, but it has benefited me and my family, and hopefully some of you guys can take advantage of that. For the application process, you have to be 17 years of age at the time of application, drug screening, and the Workkeys Test. Also, you have to have a high school diploma or GED, but you know, I will say we also take people with felonies. It's not a, you know, it's not going to kick you out of it. But I would strongly consider if FCA does not work out, pursuing the trades, because we are in need of people. There are, you know, there is an older population aging out, and we need young people to come in and fill these seats. So, thank you. Yes. The website again is www.oe324.org. And that application process is June 10th through the 14th. And we only take applications once a year. So take advantage of it. Thank you.
Okay, so he told you guys he's been coming since 2005. You all know he know better than hollering out, right? So that's why I was getting at him, because I know he knows better. They talked about skilled trades, and I just want to tell you, skilled trades is not just a job. Skilled trades is a career, because once you get into a trade and you are a skilled trades with a journeyman card, as much as I love to keep you in the city of Detroit, you can go to Florida, you can go to Hawaii, you can go any place with that trade. And because it's a career, it's not going to just station you in one place. You can take that trade and move and take it any place you want because you have that journeyman's card. Not only that, you can become your own boss. You can be an entrepreneur, open up your own business. So a trades is not just a job, it is a career. And so we constantly pushing, in some of these trades you're paid 6 digits, figures in the trades. And so that's why we constantly do this, to be able to help and assist anyone that needs assistance. One last thing, and that is the census. And I want to ask if you would just give some quick, important information regarding what's going to be happening. And while she's doing that, I want to thank our media people who are also here today to tape this. They have also been working all day. Thank everyone that's up here. They're here on volunteer because their days have ended. And they're here to help assist everybody in getting the assistance they want. Thank FCA for bringing the new plant to Detroit. A lot of questions was asked yesterday as we voted on that. A lot of concerns was there. They worked with me through a lot of concerns that I had, adding things in to ensure that we had what we needed or wanted to get some of the things for Detroiters who will be paying taxes. And some of those tax dollars will be going toward that building of that complex, that Jeep plant. So thank you all for being here, because if you wasn't here, guess what? We'd be here talking to ourselves. So let's give you all a round of applause as well for being here. I want to thank my staff as well, because although I'm council president, I truly cannot do it by myself. It takes a team to make everything happen, and I know that. I cannot do this by myself, no kind of a way. So I thank my staff, I thank my team, I thank you all, I thank all of the panel that's here with us today. I thank our media people, I thank our police officers, and I thank God for waking us up this morning, for allowing us to be here.
President Council Jones and panel. My name is Gina Bunn Hector, and I work for the Census Bureau. I'm here to stress the importance of participating in the census. If you don't know, coming up 2020, which is next year, the census is due. You're going to be counted. The main thing I want to emphasize is not being counted does matter. It's not just about determining the different areas or even gathering the information. It's counting everyone, each individual, one time exactly where they're at. That counting, it determines the apportionment as far as our representation in DC for whether it's communities or groups emerging that feel maybe they're not represented or there needs to be more representation. that counting, your count, it also determines the federal funding. Right now, we're looking at $675 billion. That money is allocated based on how many individuals are in whatever geographic area. So Detroit, Michigan, your count does matter. As an example, just real quickly, historically, children under 5 are undercounted. That's just one group of individuals. But under 5 and under are undercounted. If you were to take 500 children under 5 and equate that to the dollar amount, $1,800 per person, that's $900,000. And whatever is done at 2020, we have to live with that for 10 years. And that equates to $9 million. That is a huge figure to look at. So again, tell your neighbors, your family members, your friends, the count does matter. It makes a difference for our community developing. And if anybody is interested in communicating with me more so about the census, about tapping into the database, getting information on how the data can help you in your block groups, neighborhood clubs, please feel free to call me at 313-969-8571. Again, my name is Gina Bunn-Hector, and I did leave flyers, and thank you.
Okay. I think I have time for one last question. Does anybody have that one last question that they want to ask? All right, come on up. Come on up. You gotta come to the mic. Gotta come to the mic. If you got a question, come on up. Okay. Minutes are ticking.
I live in the impact area, and in August or September, if I pass the test and am hired, when will I get to go to work? When you start work?
It's a really good question, and I think we didn't cover it, and I apologize, because we should have probably covered that. We covered it at length, actually, in the community meetings, and we haven't had the chance to communicate it publicly. So we expect to start the hiring process, like you said, somewhere around August, September. We anticipate that the first wave walking into the plant is going to be towards the end of the year or towards the beginning of 2020, okay? So when you actually get, if you go through this process with us and you get an offer letter at the end, it's going to tell you, don't quit your current job yet because we don't have a start date for you. In order to hire thousands of people, that takes even more thousands of interviews, and it's a long process that we have to go through in order to have all the people ready that we need. So you could be waiting in some certain cases 3 or 4 months before, like after you get the job offer. Yeah. So again, don't quit your job once you get the final offer letter. And we obviously will then communicate to you when we know exactly when you're starting or walking in. But yeah, end of the year here or the beginning of 2020 is when the first people are going to start walking into the plant.
Sounds good, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, before we get the last word, I just want to say our next meeting will be on June 26th at the Wayne County Community College, Eastern District, located at 5901 Connors. That again is the Wayne County Community College, Eastern Campus, 5901 Connors, on June the 26th. We will continue talking about what's going on with FCA. We will continue to talk about skilled trades in the trades, and we will continue to work with everyone to ensure that they are getting these opportunities that will be available in the coming months and years, because they are not going away. No time soon. There's constant development. And as these young men said, guess what? People are retiring. And as people are retiring, they need to bring new people in to the trade so that they are prepared for these opportunities that exist. If not with FCA, someplace within the city of Detroit, within the state of Michigan, we want to see everyone get legally employed to be able to make the dollars to take care of themselves and their families. So again, thank you for being here. Our last.
We do have an employment opportunity
Alrighty, really quick, we are hiring, the Census Bureau, they're hiring for field representatives. The jobs start from $15.65 to $20.54. And then there's another field representative, goes up to $22.98. And I will stay behind, so if any of you want to give me your information where I can make sure that information gets emailed to you, because there's actually zip codes that they're more so catering to, and they are work from home. Thank you.
Real jobs, real time.
And
Sir,
that'll keep
you
you going until FCA calls you.
Right. Our host would like the final word.
Yes, my name is Kenneth Hurd. I was just glad that each of you could come and participate in this event. However, I do want you to know that we're going to have a community meeting at 6:30 tonight. Those people that are trying to get in touch with people that do have jobs to give or want additional information, you can stay around and try and speak with those people if they have the time to speak with you. But there is a community meeting here tonight from 6:30 to 7:30, and we do have refreshments in the back if you like.
Thank you, sir.
All right, if there is nothing else, most of the people stick around for a minute to answer any questions. Again, this meeting stands adjourned. Thank you all for being here.